Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jessica. I'm a teacher from Sweden who's currently in Japan on a scholarship where I do some research on the Japanese school system. So I haven't posted a video in a while. I'm alive, let's start off with that. But yeah, what can I say? I think you've figured out why I haven't posted a video in a while. Covid-19, the coronavirus. Yeah. What can I say? It just didn't feel right to post a video about me during a pandemic when people lost family members and friends. It just felt wrong. And currently I've reached a point where I'm like, it doesn't matter on what day I post a video or if I post a video, something bad is going to happen. At least that's my mindset right now. So I figured I might as well post a video about my experience so far with the COVID-19 as a person who's abroad as it happens. So I don't have a script. I'm just going to speak at the top of my head. I'm going to try to retell it as linear as possible. Just bear with me. I'm going to try to keep these videos quite short as well. So here we go. Just for those who are new here, I live at Osaka Kyoiku University. And at the time of the coronavirus, I was studying at a language school, which is 1 hour by commute away. So, just so you know the setting. So, we had just come back from our Christmas break when we started to hear about this virus spreading in China. And I think it was as early as the second week back when we heard about a corona case in Nara, a city that is very close to Osaka. And at first we didn't really know what to think of it. Like, we didn't know anything about this disease, and we still don't. Like, at first it was like, oh, it's just a flu. But then you start to hear people dying from it. So we didn't really know how to react at first, but I will have to give prompts to my language school and to my university. The moment the news about the virus started to spread and people started to warn us about it, my university took precautions. We were handed out huge boxes of masks. For instance, I still have it here. So we got a box of 50 masks. I'm sorry, my English is so jumbled up right now. I speak with people from all over the world, so I don't know what pronunciation I'm supposed to keep. But yeah, sorry, bear with me. But we got a box of these, and these were really good because it helped us feeling safe as we commuted to the language school. And what also happened was that you couldn't find masks in the store. Like, they were completely gone. And you might know this, Japan is a country where people more or less wear masks constantly. So the fact that you couldn't find a single mask in Japan kind of freaks you out a little bit. We also ran out of toilet paper, like the rest of the world did. It was interesting, to say the least. They also put up hand sanitizers everywhere. We were given instructions on how to prevent spread of the virus, on sanitations, both from the language school and from the university. We were also offered masks from the language school. So prompts, like, kudos and credit when it is deserved. Like, they did a really, really good job. And we started to notice in February that they were canceling events. Concerts were being cancelled, gatherings in terms of like after school activities or minor events with the language school got cancelled. And yeah, we were pretty bummed. Still, we didn't really know the severeness of the virus. It still hadn't turned into a pandemic. At this time, I went to Osaka Kaiyukan, the aquarium in Osaka. I have a video of that on my channel. And I also went to Nara Illumination. And Nara Illumination was the last thing I went to before we were told by my language school that they would cancel our language school. They were closing down. Almost like a month ahead of time. And before I knew, so suddenly I only had 2 weeks of language school left. So during those 2 weeks, our teachers, like, I felt so sorry for them. They was working so hard. Like, they just took the most important key points of the grammar and more or less threw them at us, trying to see if anything stuck. And we got pretty stressed out. There were a lot of things for us to finish. So the video of Nara Illumination got postponed. Like, it took me about a month to actually get back to that video and post it on YouTube. And that was the last video I posted. So we had a graduation in the middle of March, and the graduation here in Japan is kind of a big thing. Like, you normally have like a huge ceremony. You're supposed to be able to walk up on stage, get your diploma, say thank you to your teachers, and we still had a ceremony, but it was a very slumber one. Like, we were forced to wear masks during the entire ceremony. We had to sanitize our hands before we entered the gathering hall. We were seated in chairs with extra spacing in between us. And instead of being able to walk up on stage one by one and get our diploma, they just called out the name of our group, and so they would say D class, and then they would say the members of that class, and once you heard your name you would stand up, say hi, and once they finished calling up all the names in your group, you would bow, say arigatou gozaimasu, thank you teachers, and sit down. We were able to go into the gathering hall one group at a time after the ceremony to get pictures together with our teacher, and then we went to our homeroom where we got our diploma and like a graduation gift from our teacher. And that was it. Also during this time there were a lot of talk at the university. We had some exchange students from China who started to have issues with going back home to their country. I also had an American friend who got called back early, and she was very, very bummed about this. So and she had like things she still hadn't seen and wanted to do in Japan. So I joined her. We went to Nara for one day to walk around in the deer park, and we went to Kyoto for Fushimi Inari, where I finally was able to walk the entire shrine, a dream of mine. And we also went to the Golden Pavilion. I didn't record any videos of this. I have like a short tiny bit of the Golden Pavilion. It's just like a teeny tiny bit. If you want to see that footage, let me know. But yeah, our logic was that we're outside, we're wearing masks, we're being careful. There are not a lot of people out and about right now. We go early, so there will be even less chance of people being outside. And this was also before there was like an official talk about closing down Japan. But we still kept it safe. And then my friend went home, and I spent like almost like 2 to 3 weeks doing more or less nothing. Like, if I wanted to go grocery shopping, I would walk to the store so that I wouldn't be on the train to risk exposure to people, just to prevent that. And more or less just stayed in my room. Like, I self-isolated. My university is up in the mountains, and they closed the schools in Japan in mid-February, so there were no lessons being held by like the upper secondary schools or primary schools, and also the lessons at the university got cancelled really early. So no people around. More, like I said, we were in isolation. We were in a very, very secluded spot. And then April came, and you might have heard of the cherry blossoms in Japan. In Osaka area, they usually bloom late March, early April. So the cherry blossoms were coming up, and we still, like, usually you have like this huge event where you go cherry blossom viewing, but of course those were cancelled. I did, however, go outside and watch the cherry blossom. Once again, my logic being that I'm outside, I'm not in a secluded area, I wear a mask, I can avoid people, I can keep a distance. So I went to 2 places. I've recorded videos of both places. I'm going to post them soon. I just didn't want to post them as people entered quarantine, because the day after I went to Mount Yashino to watch the cherry blossom, Japan went into a state of emergency, and we had another month of isolation. During late April, we did, however, have a placement test at the university to see where we would end up for our lessons, and that placement test was held in like a huge classroom. There were only 9 people of us taking the placement test, and we were like placed in like all spread out. Like, we were made sure to wear masks before we entered the classroom. We had to sanitize our hands. Like, they made sure that they took every precaution they could. And then we were told that we were going to have our lessons online, and that's what I've been doing since April 21st or something. So in Sweden it's quite common with online lessons. We have distance courses offered from basically any university. I even think like there's a high school in Sweden now that only offers lessons online through Skype or Zoom. And so in Sweden we're quite used to it. However, in Japan they are not. So my experience so far when it comes to having lessons online in Japan, I would say is so-so. There are things that I would have loved to improve. I would say though that the online lessons when we have Zoom classes are really good. But during these online lessons, like the only time I saw people was if I took one friend with me to go to the grocery store to buy food. Otherwise I didn't see anyone. We were told to only be 2 people tops in the kitchen cooking together. People had left the dorm, so there were fewer and fewer people living here, and new people haven't arrived. I was also asked to be the dorm representative of our dorm, so I kind of had to help out in stating the necessary precautions for the virus. So I've been working on that too, and yeah. So a few weeks ago they lifted the state of emergency in Japan. I have been traveling. I've been to Kobe and Himeji. I've been recording videos of that too, that I also intend to post. But the thing is, with all of these videos that I've been holding on to, my intention with these videos is not to encourage people to go outside. And I just want to make sure that you all understand, like, I took precautions, we were careful, we avoided people, excuse the phrase, but we avoided people like the plague when we were out. So yeah. But yeah, I'm taking classes online right now. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good, but I can't really complain. I feel like I am in a situation where I'm also very fortunate. I'm in a country where they take care of people. But when it comes to my personal opinion on how Japan has done, how well they've done it when it comes to the COVID-19, it's like, if you look at the numbers, Japan doesn't have that high of a number of cases, but there were this kind of thing circulating that Japan was kind of suppressing, like keeping the number in the dark in order to keep the Olympics happening, and I'm kind of shocked. Like, the moment they announced that the Olympics were postponed, I was expecting the numbers of cases to skyrocket, but that didn't happen. However, it is very, very tricky. It's a convoluted system to get tested here in Japan right now. It's very, very hard. So I personally feel that the number of cases in Japan is way higher than what they actually say it is. As far as when it comes to my research, like, I have one of the best professors ever. She's super helpful, and last week the Japanese schools opened up again. So next week I have plans on going to a junior high here in Japan to sit in on a lesson and to work on my research. But yeah, another reason also why I've been kind of in a funk is because it's the rain season here in Japan, and like, I knew the Japanese summers were hot, and I had been warned about the humidity, but oh my god, the humidity here, it's like, it feels like you can swim on land. It's like the air is so thick, and when it rains, it's like pouring down, and the houses in Japan are very poorly isolated, so if it's raining, I can't record a video because it's so loud. So yeah, and like I said, the heat is just like constant headache, more or less. So yeah, that's my current situation. Constant headaches, always fun. Yeah, what can I say? I think I'm going to end this video here. I think I got everything I wanted to mention, and to stop this video before I start rambling. But stay tuned for more videos. If you want to follow me and see my updates more often, I recommend you follow me on Instagram. I post more or less something daily, like either in my story or a picture during the day of something happening. But yeah, and if you understand Swedish, you can also check out my vlog. There you have even more details about what's been going on behind the scenes. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and please, you can DM me either on Instagram or write a comment down below if you have any questions. I try my best to answer. I have been receiving quite a few questions about how to get to Japan, and I always try my best to give a good of an answer as possible. So yeah, I hope I can be of any help to you, and yeah, stay safe, wash your hands, and if you can, wear a mask when you go outside. Mask or mask. Like, once again, my English is so messed up, like, I don't know how to pronounce stuff anymore. But yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.